In a stunning twist that threatens to unravel the very fabric of South Africa's fight for justice, Police Commissioner Mkhwanazi has waged a public war against his own superiors, Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya and Minister Senzo Mchunu, over 121 missing dockets that hold the keys to solving the nation's most brutal political assassinations. This is a story of shadowy interference at the highest levels of power, a secret battle over evidence that has left families of the dead waiting for answers that were seemingly stolen from right under their noses. The return of these dockets is not a simple administrative procedure. It is the climax of a real-life political thriller that exposes the dangerous fault lines running through the South African Police Service. For years, the province of KwaZulu-Natal has been bleeding, earning the grim nickname the Killing Fields due to a relentless wave of politically motivated murders that have targeted local councillors, activists, and community leaders. Into this fire was thrown the Political Killings Task Team, a specialized unit of detectives tasked with the near-impossible mission of stemming the tide of bloodshed and bringing the hitmen and their masterminds to justice. Their work has been painstaking, dangerous, and absolutely critical for the survival of South Africa's young democracy, making any interference in their operations not just an obstruction, but a betrayal of the public trust. The central figures in this drama are men who are supposed to be on the same side. On one end is KwaZulu-Natal's top cop, General Mkhwanazi, a man who has staked his reputation on the work of his task team. On the other is the Deputy National Commissioner for Crime Detection, Lieutenant General Shadrack Sibiya, a high-ranking official at police headquarters in Pretoria, and his superior, Police Minister Senzo Mchunu. The conflict between them erupted into public view not in a private meeting, but in an explosive press briefing that sent shockwaves through the nation. In July, Commissioner Mkhwanazi stood before the media and made a bombshell allegation that would send the entire justice system into a tailspin. He claimed that Deputy Commissioner Shadrack Sibiya, under the apparent direction of Minister Mchunu, had irregularly and inexplicably ordered the removal of 121 active investigation dockets from the KZN task team. These were not just any files. They were the core of the team's work, containing evidence, witness statements, and leads into some of the province's most high-profile and sensitive political murders. In one swift, secretive move, years of investigative work were seemingly taken away. This was not a simple transfer of paperwork to Mkhwanazi and his team. It was an act of sabotage. The dockets were physically moved from Durban to the national head office in Pretoria, hundreds of kilometers away from the detectives who knew the cases intimately, effectively halting dozens of investigations in their tracks. Imagine the frustration of the detectives who had risked their lives to gather this evidence, only to have it taken from their grasp by a command from on high. The question on everyone's lips was a simple one: why? What possible justification could there be for such a brazen act that so clearly undermined the pursuit of justice? The implications were immediately devastating. The return of these dockets now means the task team can finally resume its probe into murders that had been forced into a state of paralysis. This unit is no ordinary police squad. It has been at the forefront of investigating some of the most terrifying crimes to hit the nation, including the murders of beloved musicians like DJ Somebody and Vintos, cases that had resulted in the arrest of Sandton businessman Katiso, K.A. Matlala. Furthermore, this same team is leading the investigation into Matlala for the alleged plot to kill his socialite girlfriend, Tebogo Thogbjane, proving that their mandate touches on the intricate links between political power, criminal networks, and high society. The public reaction to Mkhwanazi's allegations was one of outrage and grim validation. For communities in KZN who have lived in fear for years, watching loved ones gunned down for their political beliefs, this confirmed their deepest suspicions, that the violence was being allowed to continue, protected by powerful figures who had something to hide. Social media erupted with anger and support from Mkhwanazi, with many hailing him as a brave whistleblower standing up to a corrupt system. The suspension of Shadrack Sibiya, pending an inquiry by retired Justice Mbayiseli Madlenga, was seen as a first step, but for many, it was too little, too late. This saga forces us to ask a profoundly disturbing question about the state of our democracy. If the very people entrusted with stopping political killings are the ones being obstructed, then who can ordinary citizens possibly trust? How does a community begin to heal when the path to justice is deliberately blocked by the highest authorities? The consequences of this interference are measured in more than just delayed cases. They are measured in the continued loss of life, as hitmen and their sponsors operate with a sense of impunity, believing they are untouchable. The return of the Dockets, while a victory from Mkhwanazi and his team, is only the beginning of a much longer battle. Each of those 121 files represents a life cut short, a family shattered, and a community terrorized. The detectives now have to play catch-up, attempting to reclaim the investigative momentum that was so callously stolen from them. Every day of delay is another day a murderer walks free, another day a witness's memory fades, another day a family is denied closure. This story is far bigger than a simple interdepartmental dispute. It is a chilling case study of how political power can be weaponized to shield the guilty and punish the righteous. It makes you wonder, could you see this coming? When you hear about political killings in a far-off province, do you ever stop to consider the brutal machinery of cover-ups and obstruction that allows it to continue? And what would you do if this happened in your community? If the police investigating the murder of your loved one had their case files taken away by a superior in a distant city, where would you turn for help? The courage shown by Commissioner Mkhwanazi in speaking out cannot be overstated. In a climate of fear and assassination, standing up to powerful figures is an act of immense bravery. He risked his career and potentially his safety to expose a truth that someone desperately wanted to keep hidden. His actions have ignited a crucial national conversation about accountability, political interference, and the sacred duty of the police to serve the public without fear or favor. As the Commission of Inquiry under Justice Madlenga continues its work, the nation watches and waits. If this story has angered you, if it has made you think about the fragile nature of justice and the courage it takes to defend it, then let your voice be heard. Like this video if you believe in holding power to account. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Do you believe this was a case of simple bureaucratic bungling or a deliberate act of obstruction to protect powerful interests? Subscribe for more real stories that matter, stories that delve into the heart of the issues shaping our world and fighting for the truth. Thank you for watching.